Okay.
Coach, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, certainly disappointed outcome of the game. Congratulations, Presbyterian. They just they played well. They outcoached us. They outplayed us. And they made plays when they had to. And you go. I thought just offensively we couldn't do anything in the second half. And after kind of controlling the whole game, time possession, all those things, second half, and then really just the way we ended the half with the turnover was just was big time disappointing. Gave us some points, and then had a chance in the third quarter. But we had one series down there. We line up off sides. We bust on the next route, which probably will be a touchdown. We should throw it away. We take a sack, and then end up having to kick a field goal. But our defense played well at times. You go back, you're thinking if you score 31 points for regulation, you should win, and probably you should. But the two turnovers, I think it was two, I think were killers. I think if we punt the football those two times, we probably win the game. And that's been a nemesis that we cannot. We just kind of keep doing the same things. Had a few guys out that we had to. Maybe some guys play in certain situations, but that comes back to coaching, so that's on me. But and certainly just disappointed we couldn't get the win. And proud of our kids, they fought, played hard, all those things. But that's not very good if you don't execute at a high level. We're just not executing at a very high level. And some better in some ways. First half we did some pretty good things, and then again, second half a lot of it changed. Without any questions.
Coach, have you ever been a part of a game where it had 17 first downs in the first half, and I think 2 on the first drive of the second half, and that was it for the second half? You had 2 more in overtime, but just a night and day. Have you ever recalled?
Yeah, probably have. I mean, I can't say I can recall it right now. Probably have. Been through a bunch of games. And again, it's a little bit of lack of execution. They changed up some stuff. But yeah. I mean, obviously we have a little time to kind of look with the tablets and stuff, and they were going to pressure us, and you got to have some answers, that, and probably got a little conservative, but at the same time, there's probably been some times like that. But the time not very good first half, you make some adjustments, you come out second half. So I don't know, but again, just give it credit.
There were several plays where there was like a read, and Trey seems to be maybe holding on to it a little too long. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I mean there are some. We're not much of a read option kind of team where he's running, but there obviously some RPOs and maybe that. And we hit some really good ones, and we had a chance to hit a few others, big plays, and we just didn't for whatever reason. We got to have better answers, probably in some cases, and I think again that goes back to me. So that all kind of starts with me. But we got. I just told them we got a group. I believe in this group has some talent. There's some, like grow up a little faster than we are right now, but. We're taking baby steps in the run game. Now they decided they were going to do certain things to try to attack us there. So we got to have a few better answers. And again, we turned some guys loose. On defense. Even the 2 minute, I guess maybe first play overtime, we took the guy loose. And played with a couple guys that maybe had to play as many snaps in there, but. You got to find a way to get it done.
Coach, early on when things were going well, I thought Gavin Hall particularly was patient and kind of let things create on their own, take advantage of it. And then I thought it was probably not much of a coincidence that things kind of went downhill when it seemed like he wasn't really available for much in the second half.
Yeah, he wasn't, and I don't know. He took a thigh contusion, a bruised thigh, and so he was trying to, and maybe he could have gone. We just maybe felt like we're better off with the other guys going. CJ was in there, Jaquan was in there a little bit, but yeah, I mean certainly he's a good player. Missed having him in there because I thought he did have a good first half. I thought he was finally starting to fill out part of it a little bit, and again, there's throwing a lot of pressure at us, inside pressure, a lot of edge pressure, and I think they did it some in the first half, maybe not as much in the third quarter, much they did, but, it's our jobs to make those adjustments we gotta make. You know, again, I can't say, they probably did a few things a little different, but I think not so much from stuff you don't anticipate, you know, anybody can do too. So, we'll come back to work tomorrow and regroup everything we wanna do is out there in front of us, so, yeah, it's certainly disappointing way to end a long day.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah. Cool.